Amen.
Scream it!
Amen.
You are now aboard Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island, South Carolina, and you have just taken the first step in becoming a member of the world's finest fighting force, the United States Marine Corps.
Many of you may remember that night when your bus stopped in front of those yellow footprints at boot camp. A Marine began to instill customs and courtesies in you as a new recruit. Those customs are a way of life for us as Marines that have been handed down over the years, while the courtesies are an outward expression of a respect for authority.
And you're walking towards them, and instead of them just staying on that same track because they come directly towards you, they cross the street. All you just did was, number one, delay your route, make your route a little longer, and you also just pretty much disrespected that senior person. All you had to do was say, hey, good morning, sir, good morning, Staff Sergeant, good morning, Guard Sergeant, and that's it. You would have gotten a proper greeting right back.
When that younger Marine gets to the point when he's an NCO or not, he's been taught that, hey, it's okay. You can call them by their first name or just their last name and no rank. Then he's going to teach his younger Marines that it just keeps getting worse and worse. And then they're friends, and they're going out, and then they're doing other stuff that they shouldn't be doing.
It really bothers me when a Marine walks by a group of Marines and only dresses as a single person. It could be just somebody they know or a Marine that they recognize, but they should be addressing all the Marines, whether it's good afternoon ladies, good afternoon gentlemen, or good afternoon ladies and gentlemen.
Proper customs and courtesy say I should address them as yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. That's what we do.
When we first became Marines, it brought us together under a culture of ethics, traditions, and a warrior ethos that is second to none. Our core values is what defines us as Marines. Just as important, there are traditions that have been handed down to us over the generations in the form of customs and courtesies. It's imperative that we do our part to preserve these traditions through a respect for the past in order to preserve our future as a Corps.
I was standing there in my duty hut, and the colors was getting off, and you hear the Marines out their rooms yelling colors. You know, once that 5-minute warning comes, that's their little alarm. They're like that hey, run away, colors is coming. Instead of the Marines standing there and showing honor to this great nation and spending a couple of seconds and standing at the POA and saluting, they want to run away. That's like the alarm guy. Colors, colors, time to run away.
They run inside, they drive a little bit faster than they're supposed to, and they just try everything they can to get out of just saluting for maybe a minute and a half of their time.
I just don't understand how Marines can do that, because that flag is everything about us, what we fight for, everything about America. Why wouldn't you honor it? Let's go, get outside, and render a salute. I would make them do that. Why? Because Marines don't stand around and wait for colors to be finished before they honor it. Marines don't render a half-hearted or sloppy salute.
America loves Marines, and to the public eye, we have the opportunity to be what right looks like. It's important to know that the conduct of one Marine is a reflection of all of us who wear this uniform.
The way they're walking, the way they stand tall, the way they present themselves, the way they maybe talk without using any kind of foul language, talking to someone in a professional way. They know when they look at you and they talk to you that you are a U.S. Marine, because it's something that you exude day in and day out, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Civilians think that Marines can do no harm, but there are certain things that Marines have done or former Marines have done. That's the first thing you see is former Marine does this, does that, and also we have a black eye on ourselves.
How does that make us look to the public? I mean, it makes us look terrible. And to me, you just got to keep that Marine concept 24/7.
When we do something to break that trust, the reverence of the Marine Corps is hurt, because we are revered by the American public. Marines represent honor, that honor doing the right thing, even when nobody's around.
Let's go! Our turn! Huh!
You will lead your Marines with firmness, fairness, and dignity while observing and following the orders and directions and enforcing all regulations governing the discipline of the armed forces of the United States of America.
When you get promoted, one of your biggest responsibilities is upholding the customs and courtesies and teaching it to the junior Marines that are in your charge. Customs and courtesies are the reason why we get up at 04:30 in the morning. It's the reason why we're in appropriate civilian attire. It's the reason why we shave. It's the reason why we get a haircut every week.
These are future corporals, sergeants, staff sergeants who are going to ensure that our customs and traditions are held to the highest standards. So we need to ensure that they're doing this at this point as a private PFC Lance Corporal.
If we walk right by it, we are as at fault as they are. As leaders, we need to address it when we see it and correct them.
If we see someone who is doing something that is not upholding our customs and courtesies, our traditions, those things that make us who we are today, it is our duty to do right by them. It's our duty to correct that individual. But better yet, it's our duty to tell them what they're doing wrong and explain to them how to correct their deficiency.
We do the right thing all the time, regardless if anybody's watching, on duty, off duty, in uniform, out of uniform. We're United States Marines, the best that the country has. And people look at us as the solution and not the problem.
Educate yourself and then educate your Marines. Correcting a Marine is not personal, it's professional.
The public looks at us and expects that higher caliber individual to be wearing the uniform that we wear and representing the United States Marine Corps.
You earn the title Marine, you earn the right to wear that uniform. So snowboarding, mowing the lawn, working on the construction site, that's not a time to wear it. Wear it when it is appropriate.
Hey, you shouldn't be in a white t-shirt. Hey, you shouldn't be sagging your pants. You shouldn't be talking inappropriately. You should have shaved before you left the house today. And if nobody's going to say it to them, then why would they possibly correct themselves?
We currently have a trend in the Marine Corps as it relates to customs and courtesies. A lot of our junior Marines are spending the majority of their first 4 years deployed to either Iraq or Afghanistan. When they return from deployment, all of a sudden they're back in the public setting and they seem to have a problem adapting to their new surroundings.
An older woman had approached the group and said, "Can you please tone down your language? I find it offensive." And they looked at her and said, "You know, absolutely, we apologize, ma'am, and we didn't mean to offend anybody." And as she was walking away, she stopped and turned back around and said, "I expect more from the Marines." And that really hits home.
The nation sees the Marine Corps as the #1 fighting force in the world. And that's the big thing. We're part of something greater. You can't let the small stuff just disappear. Your job as a private, your job as a lieutenant colonel, it doesn't matter what you are. Your job is to uphold those kind of things that make us who we are today, which is United States Marines.
As Marines, we have a term. Marines don't do that. What is that? Those are the things such as our vocabulary, our language, the way we dress in public. As a United States Marine, we're held to the highest standard because we are the standard.
The 17th Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Leonard F. Chapman, Jr., said it best in 1971 when he stated the following:
Marines don't disobey orders and regulations, bringing discredit upon the Marine Corps, their unit, and fellow Marines and sailors. Because they are a breed apart, they are not run-of-the-mill, but they are a few good men, a band of brothers. They are proud members of an elite corps. They are as well trained, if not better, than any other military outfit anywhere. They have led the way in war and peace for 196 years, and they know that today they are ready, combat ready, ready to move out, anytime, with the Navy, go anywhere, and take on anybody, fight and win. We must keep our balance, raise our quality, maintain the highest of standards, and be ready to serve our country.
Many of you have answered the call to duty in a time of war. During this time, there have been many things that you've experienced that are different, unfamiliar, and changing. Whether you are deployed or in garrison, there are some things that never change, and these are our customs and courtesies. You've all earned the title United States Marine, a title that you will have for the rest of your life. With that distinction, though, comes a responsibility to wear your uniform with pride and to keep your honor clean. And to remember that there are some things Marines just don't do.